Okay, welcome to another video. Today we're talking about the difference between inspection and appraisal. Okay, so this is a topic that gets messed up all the time, the difference between the inspection and the appraisal. A lot of people think the inspection is the appraisal and vice versa. So we're going to go into the similarities and the differences between the two. So starting off, the inspection. The inspection is something that happens in the first half of your contract time or your contract date, usually within the first 10 days. That is an independent inspector hired by the buyer to come in and do their own independent inspection. So they're looking obviously for all of the major concerns of the house. They get into real detail, looking for everything from the roof being bad to the mechanicals and the age of the mechanicals and any of that. Anything that comes up in that inspection is not required at all to be done, but can then be negotiated with the seller. So if that makes sense. So if you find out that the roof is bad and it needs to be replaced, it's an emergency situation, that doesn't necessarily mean that the seller has to do it. The seller will still have to agree to do it later on in a negotiation. So it's still up to the buyer at that point to decide if he wants to negotiate that or not. If he doesn't, then you can proceed with the sale. Now, the appraisal is ordered by the bank. That is usually done in the second half of the term of the contract, usually probably a week after the inspection is completed and cleared. The appraisal is ordered, the appraiser comes out to the house, and it's basically a less thorough inspection that is being done. So the appraiser is coming out, he's measuring the rooms, he's looking at the lot, he's making sure there's no obvious issues with the house. Now, depending on the type of financing that you have, the appraisal will be a little more thorough or less thorough. If it's conventional financing, it won't be as bad. If it's FHA, they're going to be looking for a lot more little details in the house that could be wrong. And so the reason that the bank orders the appraisal and the reason that the bank wants the appraisal is they're making sure that the value is there in the home. So they're basically saying, okay, well, the purchase price of the home is $500,000. We want to make sure that this home is worth $500,000 before we lend the buyer $500,000. So that's really what they're doing. They're making sure that the value is there for that home and that their investment is going to be secure in that property. So once again, the appraisal is done at the back half of the contract date. That is done by the bank. The buyer still has to pay for it, but it's done by the bank. Now, there are things that, like appraisal waivers, that we can get into in another video. We can talk about that at another time. So other than that, the biggest differences between the two: the inspection is done and paid for by the buyer. It's a third party. It's an independent inspection. The seller has nothing to do with it. The bank has nothing to do with it. The appraisal is ordered by the bank, paid for by the buyer, and they are just looking for obvious issues with the house and just making sure that that value is there for the home. So that is it today. I hope this video helps. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. It's always appreciated, and that's all I got for you today. So we'll see you guys soon.